If you don't want to pay the e-levy, don't use momo. That's according to a former Deputy Trade and Industry Minister, Ahenkorah, who is asking the Justice for Ghana group to back down on their protest against the inclusion of the e-levy in the 2022 budget. In the view of the Tema West MP, the inclusion of the e-levy would cushion government to facilitate its developmental projects. He argues that the protesters must seek a better appreciation of the implementation of the e-levy before kicking against it. My colleague Parker Wilson is in Parliament. He will be joining us now, but let's listen to this.
What do I say? I like to say that there are a whole lot, a tall list of issues raised. Critical amongst them is the e-levy. So it all boils down to the e-levy that they want that taken off the budget.
Taken off totally?
Totally, that they don't want the e-levy in the 2022 budget. And yes, we have received it on behalf of the Speaker, and I have assured them that the issues raised in there will be critically addressed. And as we are all aware, the Minister was here earlier and also wrote to Parliament that he's still engaging all the stakeholders, and at the appropriate time he will get back to us and let us know what has been done about the e-levy. So they should be rest assured. I don't think this is a listening government, and like I said earlier, this is the very first time that a certain minister has come back to us in Parliament to say that you guys have complained about A, B, C, D, and I want to engage, or I have reviewed some of them and I want to continue engaging and come back to you. That tells you that the government is a listening one, and the interest of Ghanaians is what we have at heart, and to ensure that we rule this nation to the satisfaction of all. Probably to be among the main, or to be an enviable country within the sub-region and beyond.
Honourable, the protesters have a different view. They think that the government is being adamant to their cause. And in fact, they've come with mattresses. They are sleeping right behind the gate. They say they are not leaving, they are not going home until something is done about the e-levy. What is your reaction to this?
I would urge my brothers and sisters, the petitioners, to kindly go home, have a good rest, take a bath. They've been here since the sun is scorching. They should have a good bath, take a rest, and be rest assured that their grievances is being worked on. Government is really working, and government is a listening one. They should be rest assured that it will be done.
Would they see some reduction in the e-levy?
I said government is engaging, the minister is still engaging, and that will be communicated to us all very soon.
So for now, they should go home and rest?
They should go home. They should go and take a good bath and rest. Yes, there's one thing I want to correct. There was an impression that the budget was rejected and we came back to reinstate. What I will say is the budget was actually, what we did initially was an illegality. So we came back to correct it. We came back to correct that.
You know, the minority also says that what you did, what your side of the house did, was an illegality.
We don't want to go
into that. They are
we don't want to go into that yet. But you know, we are 138. At least the Honourable MP for Fomena has decided to do business with the MPP side of the house. So that puts us, there's no argument about that. We're all aware. So this is just political talk here, but we all know that should we vote in this house today?
You heard the lady Sarah Malasan, who is second deputy chief whip, for the majority side, speaking to my colleague, Parker Wilson. Parker joins us on the line for more from Parliament. Parker, what more can you report from Parliament? All right, so Parker is our man in Parliament, and Lydia Serim-Alassan has been explaining the reason why the demonstrators must be rest assured that their agitations, their demands will be worked on, but also insisting that the E-levy is something that will help cushion government and help government go ahead with its expenses and projects earmarked for the year. Parker is back on the line. Parker, what more can you report from Parliament?
So, Aisha, you know, today has been the day where the various committees are considering the budget estimate. So this morning we do understand from the majority side that the Finance Committee and the Roads and Transport Committee had already begun sitting to consider the budgetary allocation, the various estimates within the budgetary allocation. So that is being done. In fact, the majority is very optimistic that with the processes that they've started, they're going to get the appropriation bill, which will give government the legal backing to spend for the year 2022, would be approved or passed by Parliament by the end of this meeting. And Parliament is rising on the 17th of December. So the majority is confident that on that day, they will be able to pass the appropriation bill to give government the legal backing to spend in the year 2022. But apart from that, of course, we just heard Lydia Serim-Alassan, the MP for Iowa, so West Wagon, making the point about those who are picketing. Now, I got a quick reaction from the MP for Tema West, Carlos Ahenkorah, and he indicated to me that government needs this E-levy. It is very important for government because they have already programmed the activities for the year 2022, and so exclusion of it would be a bit problematic. However, if you think you're an individual and you cannot pay the E-levy, you are not under any compulsion to use momo. And so if you don't want to pay, then don't use momo. He's asking the protesters to get a better appreciation of the introduction of the E-levy so that at least they would understand what government seeks to do with the E-levy. So these are some of the things that have happened here. But if you come to the chamber, there's been concerns about the construction of AstroTurf within the various regions. It's been established that over 80 AstroTurfs have been constructed across the country, but almost about 30 to 40 of them have been constructed within Ashanti region and the Eastern region. And this has been a concern for the minority. It is Honorable Al-Hassan Suhini who raised the matter on the floor when they invited the sports minister to come and answer an urgent question on the construction of AstroTurf in the country. So that has been some of the issues or things that have come up on the floor of Parliament today.
So definitely there's going to be a response that is expected from the Speaker, number one. Have you had any indication?
Not yet, Aisha. We know that Parliament is still working around. In fact, they've asked the security or personnel to ensure that the protesters do not have access to the forecourt of Parliament. So they're working with them outside there. We are yet to get an official response from the Speaker. But when I engaged some of the majority members, they indicated to me that it is government who has the opportunity and the wherewithal to make any changes to the E-levy, even though Parliament can amend it on the floor of the House. When there's an appropriation bill, the minority can raise concerns about it and force the House to put the amendment to a vote, whether it is 1%, 0.5%. And so Parliament really, for now, cannot do anything about it, but they are waiting for government to at least respond to the concerns raised by the protesters. So we are yet to get an official communication from the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, George Sewusu, who is chairing today's sitting, and find out what exactly his response may be. But for now, the minority and the majority are convinced that, well, we should do something about it. And so government and the finance minister is considering all the concerns raised and then address them.
And let's look at other business of the House. What other business is being conducted in the chamber?
So for now, the minister responsible for fisheries and aquaculture just finished answering some questions on the floor about premixed fuel. We are expecting the finance minister, Ken Oforiatta, to appear before the House and also answer questions on what government is doing to reduce fuel prices across the country. And actually, I know that it's something that you are concerned about, the fuel prices, and Ghanaians have raised concerns also about the fuel prices. So we are expecting the finance minister to appear before the House and answer the steps being taken by government to reduce fuel prices in the country.
Parker Wilson is our man in Parliament. Definitely lenses are widely opened in Parliament and will bring you up to speed as to what happens in Parliament.